That shit hurt. Damn. Let's see what we got. All right. Let's see what we got in the building. See if somebody gonna come join me tonight. I got the light right. Looking for a light bright. Or a bright light. C dot. What up, though? Young Catalyzac. Peace, peace. TC360, the usual suspects. Let's get it. Taylor Savage checking in. What's good? Marco the Prophet. What's good? Chicago in the building, the shy. Never ask why. You know what I'm saying? Ready for the intel. Listen, this ain't even going to be about me breaking nothing down. This is real simple. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be more so an open discussion. You know what I'm saying? Lovecraft Country, man. All 10 episodes. Fire, fire, fire. You know what I'm saying? Shit, hot fire, like Dylon. Hot fire. Anita Stevens, good evening. Joy Music 253. I see you. Man, how y'all feel about the season? First season, Lovecraft Country, said and done. It's a wrap. Excellent season, excellent series. Jordan's best series ever. I would agree. Jordan Peele with his hands on it. J.J. Abrams with his hands on it. The season is so good. I would say you could definitely watch each episode 2 or 3 times. That's how good it is. And won't be disappointed. I'm pretty sure you would find something new in each episode every time you watch them. That's how good it is. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. That's how good it is. If you have seen it, watch it again. That's how good it is. Exactly. So much information was in each episode. I didn't want to personally... Is that battery dying? I didn't want to personally actually sit there with a notepad and try to take down notes as I was watching it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to actually enjoy it as a viewer, because when I'm watching things on television or, you know, YouTube, movies, television shows or whatever, I watch it from trying to decode it aspect. I watch it from being an independent filmmaker myself aspect. So I'm looking at the lighting. I'm looking at the angles. I'm looking at the dialogue. I'm trying to see if the script is good. So there's a lot of things that distract me personally from enjoying television. That's why I really don't watch it. But I really wanted to just enjoy this. So I didn't want to take a lot of notes. I just wanted to take it in. You know what I'm saying? And if people did take a lot of notes while watching it, that's cool too. Salute. And thank you for that, because hopefully you made a video breaking down some shit. Yeah, so let's talk about it. So this is going to be an open discussion. Whatever y'all want to chime in on and that you guys seen or picked up on any of the episodes, or what was your overall feeling and what was your overall take from the show? Before we get into what the people in the chat is talking about for their overall take from the show, I'm just going to just put my overall take, and it's really simple. It's really fucking simple. And I hope that anything that I say tonight does not offend nobody. I'm just going to keep that shit a bean. Straight up. I'm going to keep that shit a thou wow. You know, and it is what it is. Because the show was definitely talking to specific people. Period. It was. It's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? But what I took from it was it's time. It's time. It's time to Miss Am. It's time to use your magic. If you melanated, you know they hate it. Use your magic. Period. It is time. There's nothing else to really talk about. It's time. Every episode was a build-up to kind of draw you in, let you know that this is some magical shit. But the climax in the last episode, 10, if you didn't get the message that this is our shit, it has been stolen, used against us, we are retaking it, and it's about to go down. Period. I touched on this in the coronavirus videos that I dropped, that series, so I'm going to touch on it again. I touched on this in the vote, should you vote for whoever election, I'm going to touch on it again. I broke this down in the police violence and brutality of killing melanated people. I'm going to touch on it again. There's nothing to talk about. It's time to do. And if you ain't finna get physical with it, which you probably, if that's your calling and you want to do it, that's how you feel like you want to contribute, so be it. But really, what's going to really take it over the top to reclaim what you need to reclaim is doing your magic. If you ain't with it, you better get with it real quick. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things in the show was kind of like tongue-in-cheek, fake parlor tricks type shit. Like the drawing the circle with the salt, that works. But there's something about the crystalline that's going through this bloodline. You know what I'm saying? There's something about the crystalline that's going through this melanin. We don't need that. We could draw circles in our heads. You know what I'm saying? This melanin comes with a whole bunch of gifts. And that's a fact. Okay? You see, most of the time when you see a mystical, magical movie, it's some Harry Potter shit. That's how it's presented to you. The reason why this show was such a gift, is because they kept it fucking real. That's our shit. It was taken and used against us. And we caught amnesia. But that's what the pyramids is for. That's what the coffin text is for. That's what the hieroglyphics is for. Because it was known that we would fall into a slumber. If it's written in stone, it was written so we can remember and wake the fuck up. And guess what time it is? Alarm bells, please. Alarm bells, please. Time to wake the fuck up. And we waking up. We waking up. Just people at different levels. But what that show really is going to do is going to make people look into magic and start doing it. Our people. Because we have been brainwashed by religion to think that our sciences, to think that our culture is evil. They had to put a spin on the shit. They had to put a spin on it. They had to have the pale man be the man because the show had to be greenlit. But if you notice, each episode, the racist pale dude was getting fucked up. Each episode. See, and it's a magical thing with that. It's not a racist thing. It's a magical thing. Because the two directors or producers on the project was J.J. Abrams, who I believe is a white man. Let me just double check. I want my facts to be correct if I'm going to connect a dot. Let's take a look. Let's take a fucking look at what J.J. Abrams looks like. Sorry. I don't know if y'all can see my screen, But that's J.J. Abrams right there. He looks pretty Caucasian to me. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that screen? That's J.J. Abrams. Yeah. So, that's a white man. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but it is. Now, you got J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele coming together to create this. So they knew that white people was getting fucked up, but I guess that's the message that needed to be sent. Okay? So, hey, man, all I got to do is put it on a scale. Whatever it weigh to be, that's what it weigh to be. Boop, 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 boop. Cool. All right. Look. So, Healthy Urban Girl, she says, what about when Letty said, God lives in us? There are so many points of reference. You can't talk about them all. We'll be here all night. I got all night. But do you have all night? I don't know. Okay? All I'm saying is, I knew J.J. Abrams was white. I was just trying to prove a point. I knew he was. I'm just trying to prove a point. Because I don't want nobody to be like, oh, you being racist. J.J. Abrams made that show. Him and Jordan Peele. They made it together. So, on some Little Luck shit, I got all night. I got all night. Alright? We got all night. Why? How's my sound? Is my sound good? So I know my live streams, my sound be kind of low. Let me know if my sound is trash. Let me know.
Y'all took that down, dude? Okay. Yeah, should have kept it up, boss. I know. Yeah. Let's do it, y'all. I didn't even get a second verse. Beloved, my beloved T-Rex says, grown man boss is something you gotta deal with. So all of that collaborated, fabricated, it ain't gonna equal up to this real shit.
It ain't gonna equal up to this real shit. I just had to play that real quick because we got all night. We got all night. So, there was too many points of references in that show. Like even to the sign on the window where it says, where they talk about where in the auto repair shop, you know what I'm saying, where it says inquire within. You see what I'm saying? They're telling you it's so much symbology to where you know J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele, of course, are occultists, esoteric occultists, and there's nothing wrong with that. So we're gonna lay that myth to bed tonight, because it's time. It's time to stop playing games. You get with your ancestors. You see the ancestors, and the divine feminine was in the building on the last episode when they brought back the ancestors. They brought back all the women. They telling you how to do it. Watch how many people go to Amazon and go get The Magician, the book. Watch how many people go get that. Watch how many melanated people start putting spells on these police. Watch. See? Let's talk about it. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. You shouldn't cast spells on people. No kind of spell, because there's always a repercussion. Always. You have to understand cause and effect as a principle. Always. But if you put a spell to protect yourself, if a motherfucker try it, That's his problem. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, it's time to use your natural gifts. Stop playing. I don't have to go into no specifics about the show. The show is about use your shit. It's our shit. Zandra says, you could have played Tick for real. That's fucked up. I mean, I'll take that as a compliment. Because, you know what I'm saying, that I forgot his name. He do his thing, though. He do his thing. And it, basically, you saying that I may have some acting chops. I would want to get my acting chops up a little bit more. Because that was a very heavy role. But here's the thing. I'm finna drop something real heavy on y'all. Then I'm going to let y'all talk amongst each other and talk to me. Alright? I'm going to drop something real heavy on y'all. Understanding my light is going out. Cool. Understanding how Hollywood works is very key. Very key in this. Okay? I'm finna throw a curveball. Because we're all excited about the show. Because it is what it is. Okay? But you have to be aware of this point. Anything that gets released by Hollywood is to social engineer. Anything. It's called being greenlit. Okay? Now, I don't know how the show was produced. If it was produced independently, you can get around the Hollywood bullshit because most movies and television shows are produced on a film lot that is owned by someone who sells it to the distribution companies. That's how it works. So for them to produce the movie, they have to put the money behind it. And for them to put the money behind it, they have to have a vested interest in the film or project. That's why if someone writes a script and they submit the script for production, the script may be rejected because the people who own Hollywood pretty much social engineer this country and the world per se. All right? So they always have a vested interest, okay? So, with that being said, if this show was not independently produced and definitely not independently distributed because it was on what? HBO? HBO? We already know what's up with that. Right? Do we have to say it? Nah, we don't have to say it. That means that they greenlit this. That means that the powers that be want this to be out. So, if this show got greenlit and this was wanted to be out and they want us to do magic, why? To use it against them? That would not be in their best interest. Why? To bring forth some portal? Possibly. To make the ancestors that probably are coming back happy? Possibly. But that is a question that we must ask. Why did they allow that to seep through? It wasn't an accident. It's not like, ooh, we fucked up. They know already. There's always an exchange. If that's what they gave us, what are they getting? It's always an exchange. Let's go to the comments. Joy of Music 253 says it's in the blood. Definitely, it's in the blood. At the end of episode 10, Atticus is crucified like Jesus. You didn't see the Jesus symbology of Atticus's crucifixion? because it was a sacrifice of his blood. But the whole show from episode 1 to episode 10 was a big ritual that we were a part of and we observed. It was a ritual for us. Atticus was sacrificed, and the blood was shed for us. This was a ritual, a virtual, mental, subconscious ritual that we all, that's why we feel so strongly about it. That's why y'all here tonight. That's why I'm here. Because it affected us. Intention, a body, right? Remember that? Yeah. Energy. Most of us here, we're distant cousins. Now, I don't just say that based off the phenotype of being melanated, because not all melanated people are the same, but on the fact of blood type. You see, no matter if you come from a family, a certain family, your blood type can always switch. So, for example, you would think you would be the same blood type as your parents, but nah, not necessarily. It's just the changing of the DNA markers through generation. Okay? So if you just so happen to be O right now, during this time, that's a good thing. If you just so happen to be Rh negative right now, during this time period, this era, that's a good thing. You know, your blood type kind of determines your soul group, or what soul area, eon, you come from. Eon is just a place in space, a place in time and space where soul groups inhabit to fall into this density of being a human. Marco the Prophet, salute to you, sir, for the donation, for the super chat. I really appreciate that, man. Peace, peace, peace. Marco the Prophet on the check-in, on the super chat. That's what's up. Now, let's find another comment. Let's find Marco the Prophet and see if he had a comment, man, since he contributed to the super chat. See if we got something. See if we got something. The higher state of consciousness when she was at another level. Yeah. The Hippolyta. I don't know why I have so much of a hard time saying this lady's name. Hippolyta, right? Yeah, her storyline was fire. You see what I'm saying? Because she was like super aware. You know what I'm saying? And her contribution. I'm very curious to see what her contribution is going to be in season 2. You know what I'm saying? Especially her being the parent of Wonder Woman, which turns out to be Diana. You know what I'm saying? The daughter. You know what I'm saying? She plays the role, or she encompasses the energy of Wonder Woman. You see how much feminine energy is wrapped around this series. I need you guys to be very aware of that, because none of that was by mistake. None of it. Women were so strong through the series, from episode 1 to episode 10. Even though there were male leads. Strong. Okay? And that's not a mistake. That's by design. Why is it by design? Because we are definitely in the era of the divine feminine. Strongly. The show reflects everything that's going on right now. Even though the show was a timepiece. It was shot, I don't know. What is the reference, the time reference for the show? The 50s. That's what I thought. I said that earlier when I was talking to somebody else. So it was set in the 50s. So it's funny that even though everything that was going on in the 50s still pertains right now, it's a reflection. It's a reflection of what's going on right now. And that's what I was going to say earlier, too, about, I'm jumping around because I really want to touch on a few different things at the same time. Back to Hollywood greenlighting certain shows and certain movies. You got Antebellum that came out, okay? You have Black Panther that's on its way out, okay? You got Lovecraft Country, okay? You have Power. Not Power with Ghost and fucking Tariq. No, I'm talking about Power with Jamie Foxx about the DNA pills and shit like that. All of this is not an accident, okay? You have to be aware of that. Let's see. The mastermind of the show is Misha Green. Yes. They had to have some divine feminine magic in that pen. That is a fact. Atticus off like he wasn't hyped to be the guy. Yeah, they did take Atticus out. But what's interesting about this show is they let us know that that's what was going to happen. We didn't believe it. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Anytime a movie or a show weaves at your heartstrings and you become emotionally involved and tied into it, just know you're part of a ritual. Understand that. I was thinking that too about Atticus. He may come back. It's highly possible. It would be very interesting to see how they do that. What I did love about the series is how they wove in all the historical events. The first black lady to take the motorcycle ride across country, the Emmett Till, the Tulsa, Oklahoma shit. All that was fire. This is how you know it was a ritual. They wove in real shit to draw you in emotionally. Remember, energy can be used, and we gave that show a lot of it. Be mindful of that. And that's a fact. Be mindful of that. Don't forget that. Somebody used it. Don't forget that. Like I said, there's always a trade-off. Cause and effect. They gave us that. They got something. They got something. Remember that. And that's a fact. Okay. They know their time is up. That's a fact. They know their time is up, but we don't know. See? It's a chess game. They're a couple of steps ahead. So this is why I'm making this video. That's why I said what I said about, remember, they gave us that. So if that's a chess move, remember, it's chess, not checkers. All right. Two healthy urban girl. He is white. Who is white? Oh yeah. Yes, the message about taking it back because it don't belong in their hands, because it don't. Now we got to kind of look at that, because what happens is, since melanated people inhabited this earth primarily first, I'm choosing my words wisely, okay? So what we deemed as observable science, that ultimately became the science and mathematics and the ability to build greatness like the pyramids. These things that we call science broke down and became or we can coin it as alchemy, but that broke down and became superstition. You see what I'm saying? So, if we had the science on how to build a pyramid and we wrote it on a wall, people who could not be close to that wall had to leave away from that wall, and they had to talk about what the wall said. That became superstition. So let me just take it back. We shake up some chicken bones, piss on them, throw them up in the air on a full moon, and we get a result. That's alchemy. Understanding how that alchemy works led us to build the pyramids. That science of building the pyramids stayed on the pyramids as writings on the wall. People who couldn't be close to that took it as rumor and made it superstition. Superstition ultimately turned into religion. So, like, if you throw bones up on a full moon, this will happen. This is what we do on a full moon. We throw bones up. Religion. You see what I'm saying? So, as Egypt fell and broke apart, or the knowledge was pillaged, I should say, more accurately, the things that helped us as being melanated people rule were hidden during the overtaking of Egypt. You see? It was hidden and safeguarded. Fast forward, they gave us the fucking books of bullshit because we went to sleep, because they used a spell and we went to sleep. Just in case we woke up, they said, hey, don't do the shit that we do. That's evil. But we ain't gonna tell you that we doing it though. We gonna give you religion. Go ahead. Be Islam. Go ahead. Be Christian. Go ahead. Be Hebrew. But we ain't finna give you these scrolls though. Where they fucked up at is the scrolls is in here. It's in here. That's where they fucked up at. Yeah. I am the I am, motherfucker. I am the I am. Ooh, Anita Stevens. She broke down some game real quick. I wonder what the Schumann resonance is looking like. Nice. Let's take a look. Shall we? Schumann resonance today. Is there any videos? No. Let's take a look. Let's see what the Schumann resonance is, huh? Let's see. Let's see for those who don't know. Can we explain? The Schumann resonance are a set of spectrum peaks and extremely low frequencies, ELF, portion of the Earth's electromagnetic field. Spectrum, Schumann resonance are global electromagnetic resonances generated and excited by lightning discharges in the cavity formed by the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. Also, the sun's particles. Let's not forget that. And it's always good to know what the Schumann resonance is doing daily. All right? Please believe that. Thank you for asking that. But let's see what it is today, huh? Let's see. That's not today. I'm trying to find one for today. No. I'm sorry, y'all. I got sidetracked on the Schumann resonance shit. I'm so sorry. I I love questions like that. I love knowing about shit like that. That's that shit. Sorry. Let me get back to the shit. So sorry. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, but do we know what to do? But do we know what time it is? But do we know what time it is? I don't think we do. A lot that show went over a lot of people's heads. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say too much on YouTube because YouTube does have the algorithm crawling around on a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be real careful about how you word things. Living in abundance is your right. Living peaceful is your right. Living in a state of love and comfortability is your right. Use your magic to obtain these things. Whatever happens from the fall off of that, whatever. See, I was always on the fence about working with ancestors unknown. You see what I'm saying? And my whole thing about that was when it was time for the ancestors to show themselves to me would be the time that I would use certain ancestors to do what they need to do. That time has came now. You understand? Now it's here now. Okay? So you do with that what you will. Facts. Mark G, what's good, man? Don't forget to let me know where y'all checking in from. What's the soil that's underneath your feet, so I could do a proper meet and greet. You already know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So listen, what we're going to do from here. This is a huddle. You know what I'm saying? And whoever's listening right now, that's cool. If you're not melanated, that's cool. And let me say something real quick. Just because you look like you're melanated don't mean your soul is correct. And just because you don't look like you're not melanated don't mean you don't have melanin. It's about your blood type. This shell being melanated pretty much means how much soul can in-house the shell. If the shell isn't as melanated, it still can in-house a soul, but that amount is very limited. Case in point, for the brethren and sisters and shit that may not have a melanated appearance, don't fret. I have a way to let you know who you may be. You see this? Hold on. See this? See that mole? Moly people have a different kind of melanin. A different kind of melanin content. Because if you look at my skin, I'm not the darkest person. So you know I got some cut somewhere. I'm not all full-fledged melanin up in here, right? So what happens to people's shell or biological bodysuit, matter of fact, speaking of biological bodysuit, I did a video I'm going to drop. Probably, I might drop it tonight, but I'll definitely drop it. I'll drop it in a couple of days. I still got to drop part 3 of the algorithm. So, but I talk about the suit. I talk about the suit and I talk about the bodhisattvas. I talk about the suit and the bodhisattvas. Okay, because there's a lot of bodhisattvas around here on YouTube, but there's a lot of fake teachers and fake bodhisattvas as well. So you need to know the difference. But we're going Omni Fox checking in from Jersey, Newark. You heard me, Jersey. You dig? What about albinos? We finna get to that. We finna get to all that right now. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Okay, so for those who have a bodysuit that may not be as melanated as they would like it to be, one trait that you could look at is your moles. Your moles is the carbon or the melanin trying to bubble up to the surface. Okay, so freckles, moles, and shit like that are signs that there are melanin content in your bodysuit. Okay? So you can kind of tell how much melanin is in your bodysuit based off your moles. Also, your moles also are star charts to your soul group. It's kind of like when you look into the sky at night and you look at the stars and shit. Same thing here. Same thing. You have charts all over your body. As above, so below. Never forget that. I know that sounds hella mundane. Like I said, some deep shit. As above, so below. That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers be saying shit and shit don't even be deep though. That wasn't even deep though. I was just trying to be funny and shit. You gotta have that U melanin. That's a fact. There's different kinds of melanin and people don't really realize that. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, birthmarks. Birthmarks are the same thing. Birthmarks are kind of like nebulous because they're so pronounced and they're there. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes your birthmark can somewhat be transferable through bloodline. You see what I'm saying? Your birthmark can be transferable through bloodline. It may not be the same. It may be very, very similar in the same spot and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Okay. Christopher L. Berry is new to the channel. Well, welcome, Chris. Welcome to the motherfucking shit show we call Connecting the Dots. You know what I'm saying? Where we go deep, 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 and shit like that. Healthy Urban Girl, salute. I appreciate you for the super chat. You already know what time it is, man. And you got that 1111 up. I appreciate you. I love you. For sure. Now, albinos. Ah, man. Okay. So, albinos, depending on the genus or quote unquote race phenotype of an albino, let's just say an African albino. We'll start there and you can kind of play off that, right? So they're just they're chaos is what they are. Their melanin is in a form of chaos. So it's not like they don't have melanin. It's not the kind of melanin that's pigmented, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But what I said about in housing the soul, see, I'm gonna make some people gonna get upset, man. So fuck it. It is what it is. So, woo. All right, y'all won't, y'all. I guess, man. So, anyways, so what happens is that there has to be chaos. Okay, there has to be chaos in the perfection. You feel me? So, when melanin produces a bodysuit that I'm trying to be careful with my words, that doesn't produce pigmentation, there isn't much soul that can house that that bodysuit. Almost none. But this is why they have the story that the white man came from albino black people. And this is where you get the soulless theory from. But not all Anglo-Saxons or Europeans come from the stock of the albino African. Not all. Some do. Some do. A lot, actually. So, just saying. But not all. You asked. You asked. I listen. You don't have to believe anything that I say. It's just a note. I can always be corrected, but from what I've gathered. So, all right. Now, and I only say that about albino people because there's different, like I said, there's different melanin types. Okay? And like I said, depending on the bodysuit determines how much amount of soul can live in it. Doesn't mean depletion of, because there's no such thing as zero. There's no such thing as no melanin at all, soulless. There's no such thing as that as being an organic albino. That's why I said it depends. Now, when you want to talk about non-organic albino people, this is where we get into the creation story of how did we get here? We're talking about Lovecraft country. This is how we get into the creation story of Adam and Eve. This story is about clones with no melanin. Pretty much created albinos. No soul. No soul. This is what I'm saying. There's not all white people are the same. Not all black people are the same. You know what I'm saying? Do with it as you will. So, let's see what else we got. I don't know how we got into human origins off of Lovecraft country, but I guess that's what it do. Who runs the world? What and who are they? You know who they is. I'm reading. If you can't tell, I'm reading. You're like, what's wrong with this nigga? This nigga can't stop biting his lip and shit. Melanin definition. Are they even going to have it? I doubt it. I knew they wasn't going to have it. I knew they wasn't going to have it. That's what I'm saying. When you start to try to research melanin, shit gets real tricky. Real tricky. You know, if you really want to, I think Cadillac sent me some literature on melanin. And this ain't even the eumelanin, an aggregate of pigment molecules, each made up of cross-linked 5 to 6 dihydroxydole, dihydroxyindole, and 5 to 6 dihydrodeoxyindole 2 carboxylic acid polymers, and is responsible for the black or brownish pigmentation of skin, feathers, fur, eyes, and scales. So like I said, this goes into all things. Fruits, vegetables, animals, plants, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That means the juice is soul. When I say the darker the berry, the berry, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So if you have a purple plum and it's dark, that motherfucker finna be juicy. The soul. Don't mean you can't have a white plum, because they exist. It may not be as juicy though, but it's not dry. So I don't know if that helps you with an analogy about natural albino people. Let's take another look. Melanin is a term to refer to a group of pigments produced by oxidation of tyrosine, followed by polymerization. It is produced and stored in melanocytes and melanophores. The colors may vary and may be used as a basis for classifying melanin. There are 3 basic types of melanin: eumelanin, pheomelanin, and neuromelanin. Okay, so let's talk about that. Now remember, the color black houses light. The darker the berry, the more light. Okay? It houses light. Light comes from what? Is the primary source of light in this plane? The sun. Okay? Primary source. What is the sun called? Del Sol. The sun is called the soul. So I'm not just sitting here yapping and just trying to say some shit. You know what I'm saying? Those particles and those rays that come from the sun are soul. This is how you reincarnate. Brother Panic dropped a fucking 20-hour lecture about this shit. About how your soul travels and shit. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't watch it all. I tried to watch each part as much as I could. It was a lot to deal with, because I kind of already knew about that type of shit. It was just good to hear like the words being put together. But your soul travels on those rays. Let's just say your soul comes from a constellation in a nebula very far away. That light from that nebula or star series, wherever, hits the sun. The sun is a converter and spits out the soul to various places. You know what I'm saying? At various times in space. So depending on the position of the stars and positioning of the reflections of light determines what sign you are and what kind of soul is going to inhabit the spacesuit. Without the melanin, there's only so much soul that can house in that spacesuit. So, just to be a little bit more detailed. There is another sun inside of you as well. That's the electromagnetism between the light, between the generator of the sun and the sun that's in here. Neither one of these things can exist without each other. In fact, the sun that we observe is not even really bright. It's really a mirror. Now you guys are getting a little piece of the sun video that I never dropped. The sun is really a fucking mirror. It's not bright at all. It's a fucking mirror. It's made out of some type of reflective substance. Depending on what kind of lens you look at the sun through is the only way that you can see the sun. If you look at it through a orange spectrum, a blue spectrum, a green spectrum, is the only way that you can see the sun reflecting other lights from other sources, nebulous stars or whatever. It's the only way you can see the sun. You can't see the sun in space. That's why space is dark. Space is dark. How the fuck is space so goddamn bright? I mean, so goddamn dark if the sun is bright. The sun's not bright at all. It's not. It's a reflecting. See, basically each star works in like you would call it a binary system, but they're all connected like a watch. They're just all connected around each other. They all spin around each other. All the stars spin around each other, and all the stars reflect lights off of each other, and they convert the lights to reflect to another star or a planet or whatever to light it up. That's how souls travel. That's how you can travel. It's kind of like the tree of life. The tree of life is kind of telling you how to do it, how to travel. Using your Merkaba, your light body. Let's go. I'm sorry. I've been rambling this shit. I ain't even talking about Lovecraft Country no more. I'm sorry. My bad. Okay. Okay, so what was the Asian girl having the monster tentacles during sex role meant? Do you think? I had an idea, but I'm still sauce lost. Yeah, I thought that she was a succubus or an incubus or a succubus, and but I think she was just some type of sex demon that was something like a succubus. I didn't catch what they called it because they named it a few times, and I know that that was critical. So I would probably have to go back and catch that name and try and probably research that shit. A lot of the shit in the show was pretty accurate. Some things were kind of changed, like the sigil that she drew. That probably wasn't real. You can try it. I wouldn't do it though. I got a motherfucking bump right here, man. I've been getting bumps in the weirdest places. Like I had a bump right here since I was like in junior high school. I got a bump on my eyelid right here. Like how you get a bump on your eyelid? And the crazy part about it is I'm washing my face a lot more. Like I'm extracting and exfoliating and shit. And it's like I thought that would help, but it's like making it worse. I don't understand what's going on. Christopher Berry checking in from Nebraska/Nevada. He's a traveling man. Joy of Music 253, you know, she living that LV life. Mark G, you know what I'm saying, because he keeping it G. Checking in from the 206. Seattle up in this thing. Stop playing. So St. Louis. So St. Louis. Wait. But you from Phoenix, Arizona. Why is you in St. Louis? No, I'm fucking with you. I get it. You're a traveling man. Let's get it. Or a woman. Not sure. Okay. Anybody else want to check in? You know what I'm saying? Did we do it? Did we cover it? Did we do it? I mean, I know there were so many things. I know y'all was probably expecting a breakdown, but there's nothing to break down. It's time to go do it. It's time to go. If you haven't peeped by now with all this fucking madness going on, it's time to go. The time of just listening to lectures and being like, that's deep. It's over. I mean, you can still do it. It's cool. But it's time to go. It's time to do it. It's time to get it done. It's time to put it in effect and see if it's going to work and see what works. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I'm trying to see what Healthy Urban Girl said Um, what does she say up here? I don't see her comment. I don't see it. I don't see it. Atticus is a Greek. I know the name Atticus is Greek, but I'm not sure what it means. Yeah, I knew it was Greek too. I forgot. It means let's look it up. Yeah, it means belonging to Attica, pretty much Athens, or just being an Athenian. As a name, it has connotations of literary sophistication and culture. In the Roman imperial period, Atticus also became popular as a name. So it just means someone from Athens. Interesting enough, why they chose a lot of Greek names, and that's some more homework to kind of do, because nothing in the show was an accident and nothing in the show was by circumstance. So kind of figuring out why they did that is probably another level to peel back out of that show. All in all, the show was fucking fire. Definitely a battery put in the backs of us that was very well overdue. And like I said, and like I was saying before, it's time to run out and go get as many books or obtain as much information on how to practice safe, effective, magical things. Time to kick that shit into fucking gear. And I'm with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I do my own rituals and magic type things. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done anything major, you know what I'm saying, or anything like that, but I do things for myself. We all do. You know what I'm saying? We just don't call it, we just don't name it. You know what I'm saying? You might be like, shit, before I scratch off a lottery ticket, I pull my ear. Just for good luck. That's magic. But the thing is, though, you got to learn how to make it work more frequently. Then it really becomes magic. You see what I'm saying? Because everything that you do is magical. That's why they copy you. Everything that you do is magical. Breathing is magical. The way you walk, the way you talk, is so captivating. They love it, but they hate it at the same time. Because it's magical. This yo shit. Take that shit back. Use it though. Don't just play with it. That being said, you know what I liked at the end? When Diana said, you still fucking around, you still don't get it, and she crushed her throat. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gone.